Hey, this is Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joints, and this one's awesome. It's with Dustin from Mule Skinner Smoke Rigs. They're based out of Bristol, Texas. He's a pit builder, and I love to talk to pit builders. Been around for about 2 years now, and he's done some very impressive work, especially his newest pit at a new barbecue spot called Bar A BBQ, which is in Montgomery, Texas, which is Cooper Abercrombie. You got to check them out. And if you're listening to this on podcast side, check out the montage at the beginning of this YouTube. There's a bunch of pictures of that pit, as well as a bunch of others. He has stuff at Interstellar. He is essentially a one-man show. So his lead time is about 6 to 8 months. He also has some other guys that come in every so often, but it's definitely a passion project, and he puts his heart and soul into the art of what he does. So it's a great interview. Such a nice guy. And I know that if you want a really great pit, he is one of the guys to talk to. Just contact him through his website or DM or however you want, and he'll get back with a quote. Does a bunch of live fire stuff. He has a bunch of fire tools, which sell out really quickly, so you could jump on his newsletter and get a jump on that too. So I can't thank him enough for taking the time. I know you guys are really going to enjoy this. Also, I have a website at kevinsbbqjoints.com if you want to see links to all the pit builders that I have and a bunch of articles and a bunch of random stuff, all within the barbecue world or the pit builder world. I'm at Kevin's BBQ Joints on all social media. But at the end, stay safe and visit your local barbecue joint. Good evening, Dustin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad we finally got this together. It's and I love, if you're listening to this on the podcast side, jump to the YouTube side, because it's just cool to see. I love to see shops. I love your background right now. There's a pit. Is it a 250 or a 500 behind you?
250.
And it's going to the state of Washington, right?
Washington State. That'll be the furthest unit out away from here that we've sent.
Oh, really? So let's go back, and first off, too, where is Bristol?
Bristol is we're about 25 miles south of Dallas.
What's the next town closest to?
In the barbecue world, we're in the same county as Meat Church, so we're just on the east side of that county, Waxahachie.
Waxahachie. Okay. Oh yeah. It took me forever to be able to pronounce Waxahachie.
Yeah.
So I feel very proud. Bristol's a lot easier to pronounce, and for all I know, it's called it's Bristol or something. It's Texas has their own way.
It's a community. It's not really, we don't have a township or anything like that. It's unincorporated. So we all have NS addresses. That's the nearest town to us.
Oh, really? Do you have did you grow up in Bristol?
Yes, I've been on 5 different addresses on FM 660 here in this little town since I was born.
Oh, really?
And it's for about a year when we first got married, but that's been it. We've been out here ever since.
And Ennis is essentially, like you said, your address is Ennis, so it's
right. 15 miles up the road, but that's where our mail comes from. So,
and I've never asked, and people who live in Texas or other places that have this, FM means
farm to market.
And those were special. Were they certain roads where they went up a certain direction or something? Or
this just kind of makes a loop from Ennis to Ferris, so we're just kind of a loop off of Interstate 45. You kind of got to be headed this direction. You don't really just come through the town by accident.
Okay, because when I lived in Texas for a year, and I remember seeing FM blah blah blah, and it took me a little while to figure out what that meant, and obviously it's from a long time ago.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. It used to be big cotton in this area, so it was farm to market that got you to the interstate.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, did you grow? What was your path? Did you want to be a welder? Is that what was your path?
My grandfather was in construction my whole entire life. He was a brick mason, so I followed him job site to job site, and just took an interest in fabricating things, constructing. I'm good with math, and it just kind of all went from there. I have a passion for it, and picked up my dad. He actually built some of our pins for some of our show animals when we were in school. So I got introduced to welding then, kind of picked up a rod, probably 12 or 13 years old. And then, of course, got into high school, and there's Ag Mech, and started welding there, and just the rest is history. I mean, it's just something I'm passionate about and picked up on quick and hadn't looked back.
When you were doing it, and also too, this is another tangent, all these ag classes, that's a Texas thing too. It might be the South, but there's a bunch of different ag classes. I just remember people telling me, like, I did ag this, ag that, and that's not something familiar with people in California.
Yeah. And the town I went to high school in is just up the road. It's Palmer. So Bristol's split into 3 school districts. Depends on which side of the road you live on. You either go to Ennis, Ferris or Palmer. So we were on the Palmer side of the road. So Palmer's a real small school. We didn't have a real big welding shop, just a one bay. So we didn't get to do some of the projects that some of these bigger schools do. But yeah, ag was a big part of high school for us, showing animals, building. They had wood shop, metal shop, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was, smaller towns probably where most of your trade people come from.
But I think it would be smart for anywhere across the United States to be able to do stuff with your hands or be able to fix your house or a fence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just feel like it's sad that I think that there might have been a metal shop at my school, but everything was kind of going away, and they kept expanding. I had, which is crazy, I had 3,000 kids at my high school.
I graduated 63 people in my class, so we're pretty small.
I had classes that probably were close to 63 people
right.
at certain times. So Mule Skinner, isn't that a nickname for your father?
It was my dad's CB handle. So that's where that comes. He had mules and things when he was younger, and when he started having a CB in his truck, he was a truck driver. So his CB handle was Mule Skinner. So we kind of started off building these single axle trailers for kind of like overland, like trail riding and stuff. And I was like, well, a mule packs. And so we called them pack rigs. So I said, we'll just do Mule Skinner pack rigs. Well, then I wanted to build a smoker to start cooking on. And I was like, well, the smoke rigs, let's just do smoke rigs. So it's a unique name. It's not heard of much, and kind of stands out.
It stands out for sure. And I think also people, if you Google it, it's a Mule Skinner. It was a person who had mules, right? And took them.
Right. So a Mule Skinner is somebody who drives mules, who works mules, and they've got to be able to deal with that stubbornness. So, Brady Clark, he did all my graphics and stuff. So he put on there skill, wit, and determination, because that's what it takes to drive a mule. That's what it also takes to build smokers.
Yeah. He's a smart guy. He definitely does.
Best in the business.
So, okay. So that's why all your stuff looks so great. Not that you couldn't have done that yourself, but right. My hat off to Brady.
That for sure.
Yeah. And actually like I had mentioned to you when we were texting, I saw that when I was talking to Cooper, he was wearing one of your hats.
Oh yeah, for sure. We just fabbed him a 1,000-gallon and sent that to him. I don't know. We delivered it 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. I don't think it's been a month yet.
Yeah, it's really pretty. That's a good looking pit. And also, as we meander through this interview, he's one of your ambassadors too, right?
He is. Yeah. We kind of set up a little ambassadorship with some guys just to kind of help push the brand. Some that wanted to do it, and I think it's going well for us.
You have 4, right? Who are they? It's Cooper, and then
we've got Cooper. We've got Levi Gardner, which is the executive chef over at the Bosque Ranch for Taylor Sheridan. We've got John down in Interstellar. He's got one of our Santa Maria cookers. And then Josh Hunt. He's a do-it-yourself, learned himself guy up out of Wiley, Texas. He's a Meat Church ambassador and Traeger ambassador, but he's got one of our live fire tables. So he wanted to help push us. He's got our burger press and all that good stuff.
Those are 4 really great people. And it seems like all these worlds are colliding and weaving. So when did you do your first pit for commercial use?
Bar A would be the first commercial use. That's the first one we've put in a pit room at a restaurant.
John has one. He has a live fire, right?
He's got like a Santa Maria rig. Yeah, we built it for the Texas Monthly Fest for him to use, and he's going to take it to different events to cook on. Okay. But he doesn't there at the restaurant, I don't think.
Oh well, but he might for events that he has there eventually.
For sure,
I think so. How long is your rig company, your smoke rig company? How long has it been in existence then?
So I've had some memories pop up on Facebook where I was building my first one about 2 years ago for myself. I've since sold that, and I don't even own a smoker right now to even smoke meats, which is sad, but I don't. But I guess really pushing hard the last year and a half with the Instagram and the social medias, and trying to build a brand.
Well, you're doing a really good job. What do you offer?
I mean, we offer a backyard unit. We have a live fire table roll around. We have a Santa Maria rig that's roll around. We also do the 250, 500, and 1,000-gallon offset smokers.
And now, are you using propane tanks for all those?
Most of them. Sometimes, like we've had a blue one we did for my dad's benefit. It was like an air tank. It was a really thick, old air tank built out of it, and made a really cool unit. The blue on it's really neat. It's a good looking rig. But yeah, most of the time propane. Our backyards are 24-inch OD pipe, but everything else is propane tanks.
What are your lead times for the commercial and for the backyard?
So this is still a side business for me right now. So it's nights and weekends. So right now I've got 6 or 8 orders in. So I'm telling people I'm 6 to 8 months out right now, so that I know I can stay semi caught up. And it's tough to stay on top of it as it is, but right now that's where we're at.
6 to 8 months isn't too bad, but that would be for backyard or commercial.
The live fires are pretty easy to knock out. If I get an order in, I can get those done, within a couple of weeks, work it in. But yeah, anything custom is tough to. I just kind of keep them in order. I don't jump line with any of them. I just keep everything in order as it comes in.
Do you enjoy the process? Like, is it zen?
I do. Yeah, it's a medium. It's an art to me. I love taking something that's nothing and creating these units for people to use that make them functional.
Yeah, I think people kind of take that for granted, what people are doing. Like what you're sitting in front of is a gorgeous piece of art. It's not just, it's a tool, but it's beautiful. And it wasn't what it was. Those parts weren't what they were when you started.
Right.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time, and I'm hard on myself anyway, but I'm not going to send anything out that I wouldn't use or approve of myself. So you spend a lot of time with these units. Every square inch of these things. It's just not like we've got a manufacturing line building these things and shipping them out. I'm spending time with each one of these with some help from some friends every now and then. I've got a guy that comes in. He's in welding school, so he comes in a couple days a week, and he'll do some of the live fire pieces. He builds a lot of my grates and does some welding for me. So he's learning the process. But other than that, I've touched every piece of your smoker when it comes out this door.
So that's really, and it's like, it's a relationship. Like you're letting off like your baby when you do shipping, because it's taking so much time.
You do. I mean, you spend lots of time on them.
Yeah. I don't know why that didn't really dawn on me, because I've talked to a number of pit builders, but it's, I guess, looking at it right behind you and so close to you, and and that finish, do people order a standard pit and then there's options, or how is it?
So I have a price guide, and if on a 250, 500, or 1,000, there's a base price on a skid, just to go in your pit room or to sit on your back porch or whatever. There's a basic cost for that. And then I have line items where you add the trailer in, you pick your wheel and tire package, you pick your finish. Do you want a wood rack on the side? Do you want a live fire or Santa Maria attached to it? So there's a whole list of items.
So is it a drop down menu?
Usually people will reach out inquiring about the rigs, and then I'll send them a price guide. That's how I typically do it.
And what's the best way that you do? Like people to call you, or do you like people to email you? Or
most people, it's easiest to get online and just click the contact us button, and it comes directly to my inbox, and then I respond with a price guide. Sometimes days before I get to the email, but we always reach back out to folks.
It's more of when people place the order, they're getting a slot, they're reserving a slot, right?
Right. Yeah. We require 60% down. You put that down, that holds your place in the line. And then we discuss custom nameplates, anything like that leading up to it. Of course, we'll accept changes before we get to the build. And then once we get to the build, there's just updates until we get the thing pushed out the door for you.
How did you learn the thermodynamics and everything, or just by playing around?
Yeah, plug and play, just trial and error. My first one, I kind of had a slanted baffle in there to try to deflect some of the heat. And now we've gone to a little different, like a shelf system, and it just takes playing with it and playing with some of your flows. I had some issues with some of the early backyards not drawing as good. So we kind of changed the stack up, did a few things. But yeah, just trial and error mainly.
What tools do you offer?
Fire tools?
Yeah, fire tools.
We make a plow disc walk, which is just a reclaimed plow disc that's been plugged with horseshoes on it. We weld railroad spikes to the bottom of it to lift it up off of your live. So we've got plow disc walks. We've got planches to lay on the live fire tables. We've got open fire grills to lay over to lay over your coals or fire. We offer a burger press, which I cannot keep in my store online. Every time I build a set, they're gone. I have huge wait lists for it. I mean, I literally could keep a guy out here a couple days a week building burger presses full time.
Yeah, those are killer looking. Okay, maybe you have a side business of a burger press business.
Yeah. We also offer a tower wood rack, just kind of a decorative piece that's it's 24 inches wide at the bottom, tapers up to the top, and just kind of a decorative wood holder. And then we also offer a onion grill cleaner where you can cut an onion in half, and it has a little spear that in a cup that grabs that onion, and you just clean your grill with it, kind of season your grill with it. That's what we've always used. As a kid, I saw that used that way. We would take a shovel and just use it to, hold your onion. Well, this is just a way to keep your hands off of it and clean your grill.
That's that's awesome. That's so smart. And all yours, everything looks really cool. And it looks like I could see why these things are selling out. Like the onion, is that still in stock?
It's not. I didn't think that was as popular, and so I use Squarespace for my website. So there's people that go on and add themselves to a wait list. Well, I went in there one day and saw there was like 18 people on the wait list for it, and I'm like, I've got to get some of these things made. But it's like I have to slowly do all this. It just consumes so much time right now trying to keep everything on schedule with the bigger builds, and sometimes the fire tools get sidebarred.
That makes sense. And I bet that's the way for a lot of people, even the bigger guys. It's just I think that whenever a company that people respect puts out something like that, people jump on them really quick. So do you announce it on Instagram?
Yeah, I have a newsletter. So we've got a couple hundred people that are on our newsletter that join it through the website. Anybody can go to any tab on our website, join the newsletter. So you kind of get early access to things. We'll announce, hey, burger presses are in stock, and I'll give them a few day head start on ordering, before I put it on Instagram or Facebook and say, hey, we're back in stock. So just a few perks that I try to offer just somewhat for the people that are following along.
That's super smart. I'm gonna join tonight because I like to be, I like to know when things are, and also too, if I'm ever making like a gift guide or something, I'll know a few days ahead, then I can.
Yeah. I would like to be better at it. I would kind of like to not blog, but maybe tell folks what we're doing each month on there. And I just haven't got to that point. Like I say, it's a time crunch for me most of the time. My goal is to one day have some guys out here that can help keep this running a little better, where I can spend a couple Saturdays a month or a couple nights a week instead of, literally, it's some nights I'm out here every night trying to stay caught up, because I don't want to get so far out that these people are like, well, he's got too big of a wait list, I don't want to wait. I want to grab those people and sell them a rig,
Yeah. That's a tough road. Like you're at a really tough point right now.
Yeah. But it's working well. I balance everything really well. I still spend time with my family. It's not like I'm out here neglecting my family. I've got 3 daughters of my own. So it's and a wife. So they're used to it, but I make sure I have time for them for sure.
Yeah, no, and that's that balance. That's what's important. And that's why I'm saying it's tough, because you want to balance that properly.
Yeah.
If one of those things goes out of whack, it just messes with your head and it makes life difficult. And
it does.
If someone's watching this that's a welder that might want to, 6 months from now watches this and thinks, hey, I want to shoot them a message, I could help out. So you don't want to lose that option. Like people,
I'm so detailed oriented. Like I have a hard time letting people do things for me. That's one of my own issues. So to teach a guy to do that, they always have the chance to go somewhere else anytime. But as I get older, I'll be 40 this summer. I'm starting to kind of learn to, hey, let somebody help you do a few things. And my wife tells me all the time, hey, let somebody help you, teach them how to do it. That's where I struggle the most personally.
Yeah. I have a hard time too. I have a hard time not like letting go of everything that I'm doing, because you do it a certain way and it's specific in your mind. But I think all the great people like Steve Jobs and all those people are good at managing people. Like it's
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got to realize, I guess, at a certain point, you can't do it all yourself. And it seems like it's really popular. And talking to Cooper and how excited he was with the pit, and I'm very excited about your future, and I want to promote you as much as possible, because this is like the fun stage. And I always mention that I like to talk to people early on, because you could look back a year from now and think like, this is my mindset. It'll be interesting. And where you are, who knows where you will be in a year from now. It'll be interesting.
Right. No, everybody that I know that spoke to you, they appreciate the push that you give everybody for sure.
Yeah, well, and it's while I'm here helping my mom, I want to be able to, to be of value to my friends and to get to, and it's like selfishly, I get to know you better. And we've gotten to know each other over the last month or so, and a few months. And when I come out, like it'll just be, we'll have known each other a little bit more. And I think
Yeah.
that's specifically like, oh, let's talk about all the different ways that people can contact you. And then is there anything that we did miss?
Mainly through the website, through email, or I mean, Instagram, Facebook, direct message is fine. Some people reach out there and they'll say, "Hey, how much is so and so?" And I'll send them my email address. Hey, email me, because it's easier for me to keep up there than it is on Instagram, because I'll lose the message or I won't go back to it. And then there's times where Instagram's playing funny games right now, but there was some times where we were having reels with several 100,000 views, and I would have to filter my comment, see if I could find if anybody was inquiring about a smoker. I was losing them through my notifications. So anybody that's interested in a build, I want to get on email so that I can keep up better.
And you can keep track of it better, I think.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, like I a lot of people contact me via DM or vice versa, but after a while, like it gets buried deep, and then you don't even know, because if you were tagged, so I don't even know. Instagram's becoming a weird place to begin with.
Yeah, it is. It's got us a long way. It's really built us a pretty good following, and I don't know. I've heard talks of them have changed the algorithms and this and that, and I don't understand all of that, but it has changed significantly.
Yeah, and it seems like there's a lot of focus on video, but then I'll see posts that are from 3 days ago in my feed. It's a strange, yeah.
Facebook's been doing that here lately. They'll send me some, or like they're showing me that posts that are 4 or 5 days old, that it's too late now. I don't,
Yeah, I can't jump on that because it's I already
Yeah.
have it. Yeah, it's weird, and it's also, I guess they're offering a free service, so we can't complain yet. But it's
Right.
still, and as long as it's gotten you a base, and now you have a fan base. And are they sometimes saying, "Oh, that's too long"?
I've had a few, but like it's those people right now that are thinking summer. Hey, I want to cook this summer.
Gotcha.
Well, I prep for summer in the winter.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Can't get them all, and you're not going to get them all. But yeah, there. I have heard that from a few people. The barbecue community is unique. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed.
Yeah, most everybody. There's like
Most.
there's a couple people. What is the actual website, and what is your email?
My website is muleskinnersmokerigs.com, and my email is just Dustin@muleskinnersmokerigs.com. Instagram and Facebook, I believe. We've got a TikTok. I don't do a whole lot, but we try to post some. But yeah, everything's just at Mule Skinner Smoke Rigs.
Okay, I talked over you, so I'm glad you said that at the end. Perfect, because it does cut off. Excellent. This is it, and I think that, and people, like, some people say like, "Oh, some of your interviews are so long, I can't listen to them. I have to chunk them up in two, like listen to them in two parts." So this is actually kind of perfect because people get a chance to really know. I wish you all the success, and I'm excited for your future.
Well, I appreciate you, Kevin. I appreciate you doing what you do and pushing for these folks. And you're a staple in the barbecue world.
Thank you. That means a lot. That means a whole lot. That made my day, and I can't wait to meet you in person. So hopefully it'll be this summer or fall.
Sounds good, sir. Be happy to see you.
All right. Good to see you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.